What's up, guys? My name's Kenny. Hope you're all feeling good today. This is a Sudoku puzzle that is set up like a chessboard. It's called CHESS-DOKU. That's the name of this puzzle, created by Mace Tab. So this is really interesting. Okay, so this is a chess position that is going to be legal, where no piece is attacking another piece of the opposite color, regardless of whether or not it's defended. White and black have equal material, which is the same number of each chess piece type. And then no pawn promotion has occurred. And then it's white's move. White's moving up the board. You can see you got the notation here, A through H, 1 to 8. And white is to move, and white is to checkmate in 1. So this is actually a chess position. Once we figure everything out, the numbers represent chess pieces. We'll go over that here in a second. But so yeah, once we figure out all the numbers in here, each number is going to represent a chess piece. I should say specifically these circles. So everything that's a circle here is a chess piece on this chessboard. And once we get them all in, numbers are going to correspond to different chess pieces in the circles, and there's going to be an actual legal chess position where white's to move and it's mate in 1. So I'm really excited to do this. I'll scroll up here to read the rules here more specifically, but I'm more interested in this because I'm actually a pretty decent chess player with a rating on CHESS-DOKU of around 1800. I can't remember if I've reached 1900 or not yet as a maximum, but I'm around 1800. Probably, I haven't played in a couple months, so I'm probably, probably more like 1700 at the moment. But so I think that chess ability I have and seeing a lot of mating patterns and stuff, I think that's going to really help me solve this one today. So let's see if my chess skill will help me. I saw that by the way, I should also state that the Sudoku puzzles that I solve on this channel, I find them because of the channel Cracking the Cryptic. Cracking the Cryptic is like the largest Sudoku channel run by 2 Sudoku experts, Mark and Simon. Simon gave this one a go on the channel a couple days ago or yesterday or something. And I'm wondering, because his video length was like an hour long, I'm wondering if I can maybe solve this as fast as him or faster because of my chess knowledge. I don't know how good he is at chess, but if he's really good at chess, then maybe he'll be just as good or whatever. So now so let's go ahead and go over these rules more specifically. Each circled cell represents a chess piece on the corresponding squares of a chessboard, with white moving up the board. Each piece type and color is assigned a unique digit. For example, all white pawns will share 1 digit and all black pawns another. Not all pieces must appear. So there's not necessarily... So let's go ahead and count out all the chess pieces, right? You have pawns, knights, bishops, rooks, queens, and kings, right? So that is going to be 6 different pieces, and then you have 2 colors, white and black, so that means that there's 12 unique numbers to represent pieces. However, this is only an 8x8 grid, so we're only going to use the digits 1 through 8. So 4 of these unique combinations will not exist, is basically what that's saying. So each piece in type and color is assigned a unique digit. Okay. Not all pieces must appear. All white pieces are globally lower digits than all black pieces. So the highest white piece is lower than the lowest black piece. Okay. And within each color, the digit values follow standard chess hierarchy if they exist. So pawns will be worth less than knights, less than bishops, less than rook, less than queen, less than king. So king is the highest value here. Okay, that's important. King is the highest value, and not only that, but what do they say? The highest white piece is lower than the lowest black piece. Okay. So I'll talk about that more when we're solving this, but those are the rules. And then you also have these white dots here that separate. They're Kropki dots, which are pretty standard in these Sudoku variations. So digits that are connected by these Kropki dots are consecutive. Okay, and with that being said, I'm going to reset the timer and get started. Okay, so I want to go over this white-black thing here, because there's something interesting here. I was thinking about this while reading the rules. Each color, white and black, has to have a king. Otherwise, it's not a valid chess position. And so if the highest, so if black is going to be the higher numbers and white's the lower numbers, keep in mind it doesn't have to be even, right? It doesn't have to be, it does not have to be black having 4 types of pieces and white having 4 types of pieces. Black could literally only have the king. So what we could be looking at theoretically, I don't think this is going to be the case, but this is the black king. 8 has to be the black king because that's the highest digit possible. So we're given the position of the black king, and white is checkmating. So now, I'm assuming it's not simply the white king, because, like, I don't really see how that would really be possible. There's too many pieces on the board, I think, really. Actually, let's count the circles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 pieces. That's kind of a lot of pieces on the board. So black is definitely going to have a variety of pieces in here. The black, okay, so it's white to move. So this is not a checkmate position. It's white's move to get put into checkmate. Okay. So 7 is also a black piece. Possibly the queen, right? Possibly or a rook or a bishop or something. Now, we don't know if black has a queen or a rook. Or we don't know what they have, but okay. So a couple things here is that this, for example, can't be a pawn. These can't be pawns. So that's kind of relevant. So we also are probably gonna have to figure out where the white king is at. The white king, we don't know what number the white king can be. We know that white's numbers are all globally lower than black's. So white has to have, so white's king is probably not going to be it can't be a 1 or 2. So it's probably got to be like at least a 3 or a 4. I mean, black might only have a few pieces, you know. But all right. But we worked out there's 22 pieces here. So like, did I say 22? Yeah, so white would have 16 pieces at the start, black 16 pieces. So 22 minus 16 would be 6. So black needs to have at least 6 pieces. So let's just say king, queen, potentially. That's 2, so it would need 4 more pieces. So it could have, for example, it could have like king, queen, 2 bishops, 2 knights. And then the rest of the pieces could all be white, you know? That would mean white would have like all 8 of their pawns left. Black probably has some pawns though, right? You gotta think that. Okay. Anyway. Oh, something to think about is like these are not all going to be pawns of like white. These can't all be like white pawns because only one of them can be white pawn. Okay. Wait. Because we're playing... Okay, I never thought about this. Because this is Sudoku... Huh. Only one of these can be a pawn. Only one of these can be a white pawn. Only one of these can be a white pawn. And so on. So if white... So white can only have 6 pawns. And black can only have 6 pawns. Because they're not going to be promoted. And they're not going to be on the back rank. Let's just imagine that both white and black yeah, there's definitely pawns. I was going to say, I mean, you could theoretically have positions without pawns, but with 22 different chess pieces on the board, you're definitely having pawns, because otherwise it would only be 16 maximum. So what did I say earlier about how many pieces are, I'm having like multiple thoughts here at the same time. What did I say earlier, about, there's 12 unique pieces, white and black, and then 6 of each, right? So there's only 8, so we're getting rid of 4 things. So for example, white can have no knights, or black can have no bishops, or something like that. Now, can we eliminate? Oh, here's the thing. No. What can we say about the pawns? I'm curious if we can say anything. We probably can't say anything. So each color has the king, obviously. So one space is going to be occupied by each king. So the total of 22 we have goes down to 20 for minor pieces and pawns. So this can't be 1 here. This can't be a pawn. Crap. Well, we know one of these is a 7. We know one of these is an 8. Okay. So if this is one of black's pieces, if the 7 is one of these 2 circles, that means that the 7's not the queen, because it says no pawn is promoted. You know what? Maybe we mark it like this. I don't know. These are 2 black pieces. Now, okay. So I think I worked out with the 2 kings. Let's just say both sides had all the minor pieces. Yeah, but they can't. They can't have all minor pieces. Okay. Let's imagine that either white or black had all of their pawns. I'm trying to figure out if both colors have to have pawns. If white had all 6... Well, no. Hold on. because I'm trying to. Yeah, I just want to know if both of them have to have pawns. It is really weird because like my brain is looking at this clump over here and being like, oh, this is good pawn structure with like a king here. But like it can't be that in the puzzle because these can't both be pawns because they'd be on the same row. Like, okay, this is crazy. My chess instincts are kicking in. Imagine this right here was a bishop. Oh, you know what? I might need to turn on letters. Imagine this right here was a... Oops. Control Z. Can you Control Z? Maybe you can't Control Z. I tried to Control Z there. Imagine... No! Why did it type it in everywhere? Imagine this was a bishop here. And this was a queen. And this was a rook. This was white's queen. Like, the queen on the next move could capture this rook, and that would be checkmate because the bishop is blocking this. Like, I keep trying to Control Z. Can you not Control Z here? I guess you can't. Okay. Anyway. So for all of these rows that have 3 digits in them, only 2 are allowed to be pawns. So the maximum amount of pawns is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. The maximum amount of pawns is 12. 12 with 2 kings is 14. So we would need 8 pieces left over with 5 unique ones. Because there are 8 unique pieces. No, with 4 unique ones. Right. Because king, king, pawn, pawn is 4. Okay. Maybe that's a good way to think about it, is pawn, pawn, king, king, and then 4 left over. Oh. Wait a minute. Could there be a queen on either side? If there's maximum pawns... hold on. Could there be a queen on either side with maximum pawns? 6 and 6, 2 kings. It's 14. So now you have 8. You need 8 pieces left with only 4. So you would need to fit... It would need to be... Because no chess piece, you can't have 3 of any chess piece. Right? You can't have 3 knights or 3 rooks, because I said no pawn promotions. So, like, to fit 8 pieces in... Is that the only way to do it? Is with full pawns on either side? Hold on. Unless one side only has... Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what if one side has 6 pawns and the other side has, like, 4 pawns? That would mean they still both have pawns. You're still using 4 unique... Okay, yeah, so we have to imagine... Okay, yeah, in order to figure out the logic here, let's imagine one of the sides not having 6 pawns and having less, so like let's just say 4, for example, because then you would need to create, so like 6 and 4 is 10 plus, so then you need, plus 2 kings is 12, so then you would need to have 10 different chess pieces to fill the circles with only 4 unique things, and I don't think that you can do that. I don't think that's possible. So I think you actually have to have 6 and 6 pawns. Okay, this is a breakthrough. Now, could I be wrong altogether? Could one side just not have pawns? Wait. I think one side could not have pawns. Hold on. Let me. I'm writing things down on a piece of paper. So we have the 2 kings. That uses up 2. If one side has 6 pawns, that's 3 units. So that's 8 total things. So now you need to add up to 14. Then you need to add up to 14 with only 6 types of chess pieces, which is not possible, because if you have like 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops, everything comes in 2s, times 6, that's only 12. So then you would be short to fill the circles. My point being is that we are limited in using the digits 1 through 8. So we can only have 8. Okay, what I have determined then from all of this, and I really hope that I'm correct on this, is there are no queens on the board. There are no queens on the board. And each side has to use a pawn. Okay. 7 is black. It's not possible. Wait, is it possible for black to have just their king? Actually, hold on. No, because it's up in order, right? So 7 can't be a white pawn. 7 can't be a pawn. But can it be white? No, we already worked this out. 7 has to be black because there's only 16 pieces on a side. So 16, and there's 22 total. So no, there has to be at least 6 black pieces. Okay. So 7 is at most a rook, which means these are all open to being 7s because they can have 2 rooks. My idea about this being a bishop is actually very likely. Like, this could be a bishop. Oh my gosh. Okay. This could be a bishop. This could be a rook, and this could be a rook. This one could be a... oh my god. Because of the circles there, it's going to be very hard to color it. This could be a white... I think I'll just use circles like this. Yeah, but that's hard to see that 7 there. Like, this could be a rook, and it's white's move, and white takes that rook. Okay. Let me undo all this. Oh my god, it's so hard to undo. Now, what we can say now is that these 2 digits right here are both pawns. Oops. These are two pawns. One is black and one is white. If it's white's move... this can't be... This can't be a white pawn, because then black would be in check, and it's white's move, and that doesn't work. So this has to be a black pawn. And then this one has to be a... Oh, come on, if I can just... This has to be a white pawn right there. So we got 2 pawns next to each other, because 7 can't... This can't be a pawn over here. So this is a white pawn. 7 can't be a rook then. Because, hold on. Because the rule here is that no piece is currently attacking any piece of the opposite color. So this can't be a rook. So black doesn't have any rooks. So this is either a knight or a bishop. Okay, so 7 is either a knight or a bishop. Okay, so that takes away my theory about this being a rook. But this could still... This doesn't have... There doesn't have to be another knight or bishop here. Oh, so this is a white piece here. Okay. So this no longer can be a 7 here. This can't be a 7 here. Oops. Because this white pawn would be going up the board and it would be attacking this diagonal. So this has to be a black piece. Or no, excuse me. This has to be a white piece right here. What could that be? I don't know. It can't be a 7 or 8. Black has to have... It can't be a 6 either. Because black has to have the number 6. Okay. So now the question is, how would there be a checkmate? Dude, I'm leaning on the idea that this has to be a bishop here. Because if there's no queens on the board... This could be a... No, there's no queens on the board. Like, you could hypothetically say that this is a knight here, and this is a queen that are white. So, like, if the queen came in and delivered checkmate here... But that's not possible, because I said we can't have queens on the board. So that setup is not possible. So I'm thinking this just has to be a bishop here guarding the king's escape. Unless... No. It could be... There could also be a white knight here defending the escape here. Oh, but this could also be a rook here that attacks this black piece, let's just say. And then that could be checkmate. Oh, you know what? This being a black or a white rook, very possible. This being a black piece here, because the pawn is, oh my, I keep clicking things. This is very annoying. I keep clicking things. I'm trying to not. Rook takes, check, pawn guards this. That's very likely. Wait. Hold on. How does this work, actually? No piece is currently attacking any piece of the opposite color. No. Hold on. Oh. So this can't be a rook here attacking a black piece. Oh, so you're not winning by capturing. Hold on. You're not winning by capturing. So maybe this is like a knight here. Maybe this is like a white knight here. And you move it out of the way. And then this is like a rook here. And that delivers mate. Okay, all right. I'm going to go ahead and type these things in. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. Let me get rid of those. I strongly suspect that this is a knight and this is a rook, and they're both white. Because in order for us to deliver checkmate, something has to see the king. Because if this was a knight and it hopped up there to deliver check... Oh, no. Yeah, no. This could be a white knight that goes up there. Okay, I think drawing the arrows here is actually... I'm gonna leave that there. This could be a knight. This would be checkmate. So this doesn't have to be a bishop anymore here, because if this is a knight right here, if this is a knight right here, it would defend this square from the king's escape. A knight hopping in here would put him in check. Okay. I think 1000% this piece right here has to be a knight. The only two ways of delivering checkmate are well, there might be more ways. Let me think. A knight could hop in and give a check. It can't be this knight. Wait, this knight right here can't hop here to give check because it would, if this is a bishop, it would block it. So the king could just escape this way. So the only way that this knight could like become a discovered check. Oh, no, hold on. These both have to be pawns, don't they? Because we only have 2 circles on this rank here. So this can't be a knight. But then this couldn't be a bishop, which is very alarming. Okay, so since this can't be a bishop, this has to be a pawn. That means this one has to be a knight. Okay, hold on. So I think I've just discovered this has to be a knight, a white knight. This has to be a... Oh no, this doesn't have to be a knight now. Okay, but these are both pawns. These are both pawns. Because we gotta have 2 pawns on every rank. Okay, hold on. 2 pawns every rank. This doesn't have to be a knight, does it? 'Cause now the way that we're solving this now is that this is in fact a discovered. This piece has to move to be a discovered. This is either an hold on, N or a bishop. The knight or a bishop. Shoot, could that be a king? Oh my god, that could be a king as well. Because then they can just hop right here. Now, if this... Okay, hold on. No piece is attacking another piece. If this was a knight, that's fine. Now, if this was a... Okay, if this piece right here is black, then this one can't be a bishop because the bishop would be attacking it. Wait, this has to be a knight. I think I'm locking this knight in right here. I think this 1000% has to be a white knight because this can't be a bishop. Something has to guard this square from the king escaping. Right? Something has to guard it. So I think this has to be a white knight. Okay, I gotta decide right now whether or not I'm locking this in. Regis, final answer, I think. I gotta decide if this is my final answer, right? Regis Philbin is... what's his last name? Philbin? Something? Whatever it is. Regis is asking me right now to lock this in. Final answer. And I have to decide, because this is going to determine the puzzle. Because if I can say 1000% this is a knight here, that makes this and this both white pieces. Okay. I gotta get the chess down before I get the Sudoku down. Okay, let me think. If you put the king in check, the only way to put the king in check is with a knight jump, which we already decided it can't happen from this direction. Now, it could happen from this direction. But yeah, I mean, this can't be a rook, because this is already seeing the king. So the king can't... The white piece can't already be attacking the black piece, because it says that. I'm thinking the only way to put him in check is with this being a rook. Right? Unless... okay, there's another way. There is another way. If this was a white bishop, and this was a white knight here, the bishop could take this pawn. Oh no, you're not getting a checkmate by capturing a piece, because no piece on the board is attacking the other color. Okay, gosh, I forgot. Right. So we can't have a bishop here attacking the pawn defended by the knight. That can't happen. It has to be a... What about this being a rook sliding over? Because then this cannot be white, right? If this is a rook sliding over here... No, but then the pawn can take it. If the rook slides over, the pawn takes, and this can't be a bishop. This can't be pinned because, again, the reason I just said. Yeah, no, it's mate in one. It can't be... It's a good idea, but like that's just not how it works. So that's not it. So if there's not a rook that can slide over, if a bishop can't attack it, it has to be either a knight check, which I've already determined can't be the case, because this can't be a knight. If this knight checks here, the king can just move here to a7. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Oh, no, this is bad. No, we're fine. No, we're not fine. Okay, this does not have to be a knight here. Okay. There is a white knight in one of these two spots, right? One of these. Because this knight can hop in here. Let me grab... This knight can hop in here. If this is a knight... If this is a white knight sitting here, right? If this knight hops in, this knight here would be defending against this, which means this wouldn't have to be a rook. Just make sure... Yeah, this leaves a lot of things open here. So this one doesn't have to be a knight. Okay. All right. All right. If either of these is an N, which this is definitely the answer, one of these is an N, that makes this a P, which means that we have two P's here, which means that these are both P's over here. So this is a white and black pawn. Okay. At some point we're gonna have to get numbers as well. Yeah, how do we figure out the numbers actually? Yeah, not only do we have to look at every row, but we also have to look at the columns. Can only have 2 P's in them. Okay. It feels very hard to put rooks in here, actually. Now this rook doesn't have to be the case. So these things I have put in there, I don't know how to really use the tools here to mark them as being like I could like I'm just gonna leave them in there as is. Like I'm gonna leave these in there, but keep in mind that these 3 things I have typed in don't have to be the case. Okay, if you guys are jumping ahead in the video and trying to like see my solution at the end, like if you don't have the context of why I put these 2 ends in, if you don't have the context of why I put the rook in there, then you might be a little confused. Now, so there's 2 different competing checkmate patterns that I haven't yet figured out which is which. So this is actually making this a little complicated. So one of them suggests, wait a minute, this has to be a white piece. So this can't be the 7. I think both of my checkmating solutions, this piece right here on D8, where I put the R, this can't be the black 7. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's fine. So this can't be a 7 in here. 7 would equal a black piece. This piece right here has to be a knight in the one checkmate pattern, and in the other checkmate pattern, it is at the very least a white piece, marked by the BK in the end for bishop, king, and knight. So in both scenarios, this is a white piece, which means that I think this has to be a 7 here. Okay. Now, so we know there's definitely white knights on the board. We're dealing with a situation now where you have 2 kings, 12 pawns is 14. At least one. Well, I guess there would have to be 2 white knights, right? Because if we're trying to fit in 8 different pieces, 8 individual pieces divided into 4 different types of pieces, that means that there's 2 each. So if we have 1 knight, we know there's another knight. If this was a black pawn, wait, if either of these, one of these is a black pawn, and they're both targeting this, so this one has to be black. We can say that for sure. It could be a pawn. It could just be a pawn. Let's see what else. Can I use the logic that there's only 2 circles here in this column, so this also has to be a P? Can I use that logic? I I feel like you can, right? Because then you could say that this is also a P here. Because otherwise, how are you going to complete it? Or is that not the case? Because if that's the case, then this one would also have to be a P, and it's not an N. Because then there's only 2 here. I'm going to try this out, actually. Hold on. I'm trying to think. Isn't that how that works? Oh, no. That's not how it works. Okay, let me undo. Why does it not work that way? Let me explain. Because we're dealing with a grid here that is, it's not a 6x6. If it was a 6x6, yes, but we have 6 high, but we're 8 wide. Okay. When should I start thinking about numbers and what things can be? Because this black pawn has to be a high number. We'll say 4, 5, 6. Is that a guess? Is that kind of a guess? I'm sure I could work out exactly. I think black pawns either has to be 5 or 6. Well, no, theoretically. Well, we know black doesn't. Okay, we know black doesn't have a rook or a queen. So that does leave just. Okay, that does leave just knights and bishops left over. So black can't have knights, bishops, and rooks. Okay, I'm trying to narrow down what black's P can be. Yeah, no, I'm definitely taking longer than Simon. How did he do so well on this? I can't wait to watch his solve. Maybe there's more Sudoku to be doing on this one. There might be more Sudoku to do. Maybe I'm focusing so much on the chess. I don't know. Okay, so black's pawn is either 6 or 5. Because if it was 4, that would suggest that you would have another black piece for both 5 and 6. Which, again, that's the whole thing I'm just going over right now, is that black can't have 5, 6, and 7 pieces. Because that would be knights, bishops, and rooks. And I'm saying it doesn't have that because it doesn't have any rooks. So it either has 7 as knight and bishop, and then 6 as the other knight or bishop, and then pawn is 5, or pawn is 6. So this is either a 5 or 6. So black pawns are either 5 or 6. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. One can't go down here. If one went down here... No, wait, it can. No, I'm confusing the circles. No. You can have... No. On the rows 2 through 6, or 2 through 7, you're going to have the ones... Dang it, guys. No. Right, because this one can't be a 1. Right, okay, no, I'm correct. This circle right here can't be a 1. So the pawn on this second row or rank has to be here. So there has to be a 1. There has to be a 1 in one of these. And it can't be this one, because this is a black piece. So there's a 1 here, which means there can't be a 1 down here, which means that there's a 1 down here. And it can't be these two, because this one can't be a 1 because of this. This can't be a pawn on rank 1. In fact, one of these is a pawn. Okay, so this is actually a 1 right here. That now means that this is a white pawn here, which means that this is a black pawn. So this is a 5 or 6. It's a P. I should probably make sure that I know that these are Ps. Now this can't be a 1. So now this one has to be a 1. So okay. So these are 2 pawns here. Now this is how we're checkmating then. So this knight jump right here is how we checkmate. So that means that this does in fact have to be a knight here. Whatever knight is, so now this is how we're checkmating. We're checkmating with this being a knight. So now this does not have to be a rook anymore. So we can delete the R from this. We can delete this line. Okay. So, but this is still a white piece because this is a pawn attacking it. So it can't be black. But this has to be a knight to prevent the king from getting away. These are 2 black pawns here. I wish I could figure out the number for them. Knights could be 2s. Wait. Actually, they have to be 2s or 3s, right? Let me go back here. Right. So knights are worth less than bishops, which are worth less than rooks and queens. Okay. So the thing is that white can have knights, bishops, and rooks. So, oh, but the knight is 2. Oh, knights have to be 2. Because we know there's white pawns, we know there's white knights, so those have to be 2. And those are the only 2s in circles. So now there's no more 2s in circles. Okay, so that means that this has to be a 2. If that has to be a 2, so 2s represent white knights. Okay, hold on. Where can the 2 be in this row? It can't be here, that's in the same box as this. It can't be here, it's in the same box as this. It can't be here because that's a white circle. Or it's a circle, and that we can't have another 2 in a circle. So the 2 has to be down here. And then the other 2 has to be here. Okay. I mean, that's something. Okay, so this is a 5 or a 6. I mean, I hope that my P's are correct that I had in here. You know, this one has to be a P. Okay. Now, I made a lot of assumptions early on. We're an hour into the solve, and I really hope that my idea that like there needs to be exactly 6 pawns on each side was correct. So, I mean, the question is, does white have bishops, rooks as well? Both, or just one or the other? This can't be a 1, because then it's connected to this one, which has to be a 2, but we already have a 2 here. So this one now has to be a 1, which makes it white. Oops. White. Okay. So, I mean, that makes this a 5 or a 6. So if this is a 5... Again, I just don't know if black is 5 or 6. I wish there was a way for me to figure that out. There might be. Yeah, I don't know how to figure out the pieces, though. Maybe it's more Sudoku here. Okay, one of these... Oh, also, why is that there? Okay, one of these is a 1. Oh, a 1 has to go here. Okay. Because this one is here. The 1 can't be on the dot because it would have to be connected to a 2. See, neither of these can be a 6. If neither of these can be a 6, so that means there's a 6 here or here. Huh. If this were a 6... it would suggest that that's a black rook. Yeah, the only way that this could be a 6 is if it was a black... or, excuse me, did I say black? I meant white. The only way this could be a 6 is if it was a white rook. And then we would know that... Oh, wait, no. Wrong. Completely wrong logic. No, if this black piece is a 5 or a 6... No, if this was a 6, it would imply that it is the black... It would imply that this is the black pawn or a black piece, such as a bishop or a knight. Well, knight. And this is not a black pawn or a black knight, so it can't be a 6. Actually, that is good logic, isn't it? If... Oh, no. It... Wait. Hold on. If bishop is... Okay, hold on. Oh, my brain. I can't do this. Okay. No. I was trying to form some logic of... Because there's a specific order of pawn, knight, bishop. So I was thinking... If 7 is a bishop... and pawn was 5, knight would have to be 6. Black knight. Okay, what's the problem with that? Well, then this couldn't be a 6. I mean, I think we can say this isn't a 6. Yeah, no, this can't be a 6. Because that would be a black piece. Okay, yeah, no, I mean, like, so we're putting 6 here. Fine. But... So we have 3, 4, 5 in this set of things. So 4 definitely goes here. So this is either 3 or 5. Okay, so if white is a 5, then black is a 6. Man, okay, oh boy, okay. We're getting there. This is pain. I think I'm, like, close, though, like... Well, there has to be a white pawn in these. So this is 1. So this is going to be a white pawn. There has to be a black pawn, which is a 5 or a 6 out of one of these two. Doesn't really help me. This is a black pawn now. Oh, I forgot that we established this. So this is a... This piece right here can't. Well, we know this can't be a 1 anymore, but now we know that this is a 1. But what we know, more importantly, we know that this is a black piece, and it can't be a pawn. So we get we have 2 black pieces that are not pawns. Or no, they can be a pawn. No. One of these has to be a pawn. Wait. What am I thinking? No, one of these is a pawn. No. Dummy. So, okay. We still haven't figured this out then. So is one of these a 7? Unless there's... Man, I just don't know. Right. Hold on. Oh my god. Hold on. Jesus, I forgot about the white king. That has to be the highest white number. Oh, wait a minute. Oh god. Kenny, come on. If black is 5 or 6, white's king is 4 or 5. Ah, man. Black's king is 4 or 5. So this could potentially be white's king. It doesn't help me. I mean, we could think about where is the other black 7, knowing that it's either a bishop or a knight. For example, if the black 7 was a knight, it couldn't go here. But if it was a bishop, it could go here. We can do something like that. Like if this was a knight, a black knight here. No, I guess we. No, a black bishop here would see this, so it can't be a black bishop. This can't be a black bishop. This can't be a black knight. But that's still, I mean, unless we can eliminate both of them, where's the 7 going? So there's a theory that I have that 7 is the only black minor piece, either a knight or a bishop. And if that's the case, one of these 2 is a 7. Because one of them's a pawn and one of them's either the knight or the bishop. And both of these see a white piece. This piece sees this white piece. This piece sees this white piece on a diagonal if it was a bishop. So if either of these are 7, that means that 7's a knight. Neither of these can be bishops. 7 can't be a rook. Now, what if one of these was a 6? If one of these was a 6, that would mean that black would have to... Okay, that would mean if one of these was a 6, that would mean that black has a knight, 2 knights and 2 bishops. Is that even possible for black to have 2 knights and 2 bishops? Hold on. Is that possible? Is it possible for this to be a B? I can't do that with that already typed in. Is it possible for this to be a B? This could be a pawn. I mean, this could be the other B. Pawn B. Pawn knight, let's just say. And then we would need to fit another knight in somewhere. But none of these could be a black knight in that arrangement. Could this be a black bishop? The fact that this one sees, this is almost preventing. This is weird because this is like a knight jump and then another knight jump. It's like if this was a black knight, it would see this one. Okay, so this could be a bishop here. Black bishop. Let's just say black knight. Bishop. Oh, yeah, then these could both be bishops. This is so frustrating. So black can absolutely have 2 bishops and 2 knights. That's what I'm working out here. Okay, if there are white bishops on the board, there would need to be 2 of them. One of them would need to be in... Oh, it could be up here. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I was going to say one of them needs a dark square, but there's a dark square right there. Perfect for a bishop. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Forget it. Forget it. I was going to say something about if this was a white bishop on a dark square, this couldn't be the white bishop on the light square, because then this would need to also be a white piece, and it can't be a knight because we've already used them, and it couldn't be a bishop because we just used them here and here. So it needed to be a black piece, but then the bishop would be seeing a black piece, which is wrong. So, but we can just put the black bishop right there, or the white bishop right there on a dark square. In fact, is that what we're doing? Yeah, we could tuck away. Dude, okay. Check this out. You could have 2 white bishops right here. This is the white king. This is a white pawn. This is, this would have to be a black piece. A black bishop where the 7 is. Oh, no. Then you would need rooks on the board. Wait. If I can't do this. If we give black, no, white. If we give white, oh wait, no, those are 2 dark squared. No, that was right. These are the light squared bishops. These are the dark squared bishops. If we give black 2 bishops, I mean, unless these are both knights here. Yeah, no, this could be a knight for black, and one of these could be a knight for black. Either one, really. Wait a minute, either one? Oh, wait, no. This couldn't be a knight for... This could not be a black knight here in this scenario, because then the pawn would be 5, the knight would be 6, and we already have a 6 here. So then where would the other knight go? One of them would be right here. There's just not enough room for it. Now, I suppose this could be a knight here, and then this could be a pawn. Yeah, it could be flip-flopped like that. Because then this knight would be a 6. This would be a 6. In a crazy turn of events, this would then not be able to 6, or this be a 6. So one of these would be a 6, which would cancel out the 6 here. That doesn't work. Why are my complicated things not working? Okay, probably because I'm just doing guesswork. Okay, probably because I'm just guessing. Okay, let's imagine out of these two right here, let's imagine a scenario where they were both black. Okay, how would that even be possible? If they were both black, you could say this is another 7 here. And then this is our 6 for a pawn being black. If we're saying the black pawn is 6, then this could be a 7 here. That sucks, which would mean it would be a knight. Yeah, because this, if a knight was here, it would not see any other piece anywhere. That would be possible. Or if this was a pawn here. No, wait, no. If this was a 7 and this was a pawn, it would be seeing the 6. So then this would have to be a 5, which would force black to have 2 bishops and 2 knights. Which, again, I've been trying to figure out whether or not black can have 2 bishops, 2 knights. I was looking down here and seeing if there's any complications there. I don't see why it can't. It works with this being a black knight. This being a black knight. This 7 being a bishop. This 7 being a bishop. This being like a king and bishop. This would have to be a pawn. This would have to be a pawn at 5. This is probably the only way that this would work with black having knights and bishops. Both of these would be white. But that doesn't tell me anything because, like, this could clearly be the king. This could clearly be the white king. And then this, we don't know if it's a bishop or a rook. So 5, we don't know if it's a bishop or a rook. In fact, I wonder if it's even relevant at all. If they were bishops or rooks. That's weird. That is weird. Maybe I either figured out the solution or I figured out that there's multiple setups for the chess pieces. So maybe we're not supposed to know exactly the chess position. If there's multiple possible configurations of chess pieces, then that means that the solution must be in the Sudoku. Gosh dang it, guys. Wait a minute. I'm wrong about something. Oh, wait, I haven't even checked my solutions I have in here. Like, I could be wrong about this entire thing. Should I do that real quick? Does typing a letter in actually mark it as being wrong? Well, let me delete this N. Let me delete the 5. I'm gonna check to see if I wasted 2 hours almost. Nope, digits are correct. Okay, cool. So I did not waste 2 hours. Thank God. Okay, now, that was one possibility. That was with both of these being black. Now, how could these be white? They could be white if this digit right here was a 3, which would make it a bishop. A white bishop. So if this was a white bishop right here, this would have to be our black pawn, which is 5 or 6. Now we would need to find another spot for a white bishop to be, which would be here with the king. Oh. Wait. Wait, if this is a black bishop... Wait. Or a white bishop. Can't be a white rook. Okay, neither of these can be a white rook or a white knight because we've already used the knights. Okay. This can't be a bishop. Okay, so a 3 being here is the only way for there to be a white piece out of these 2 spots. And I can already tell this isn't going to work. So I think what I just typed in a second ago was actually the correct solution. Because if this is a white bishop, it's on the dark squares. And where do you find a light squared bishop? Well, you could put a light squared bishop here. Okay, fine. Right? That's fine, right? Perfectly reasonable. Let's put a K here. If I can switch over to the letters. Let's put a K here for the king, and then a bishop here for the B. So now you've used the 2 Bs. You know? As Hikaru would say, or whoever. Now you've used the 2 Bs. We've already used the 2 knights. This can't be a white rook. It would need to be a black piece. Oh, I guess it could be a 7, right? Oh, but then you have this piece up here. Oh, no, there is a problem here. Wait, white bishop here. White bishop here. Okay, no. If this is a white bishop, this could be the king up here. No. If this is a white bishop, the only white squares for another bishop to go on are here and here, which would connect it to the king by force. Unless there's a rook. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. King, rook. Or no, king. Bishop. Rook. No, this can't be a rook. Rook. Bishop? Oh, maybe... No, because then that would see that. No. I don't think this works here, guys. I don't think that this works being a white bishop. But I can't prove it yet, because I haven't thought everything through. But I'm like I'm like so close. Am I crazy? Yes, the answer is yes to that. But now, yeah, no, that does that is a problem. Yeah, exactly what I pointed out. But let me just clarify it here. Okay, if this is a white bishop on a dark square, we need a white bishop on a light square. It can't be here because that sees a black piece. Okay. And it can't be here either because that would also see a black piece, because if you're putting this to be the bishop, this has to be the black pawn. So then the white bishop would see the black pawn if it was here. So the only valid spot for another white bishop is here. But then you need to put another white piece here to block it, and that would have to be the king, because if you put a rook here, it sees this black pawn. Or actually, I don't know what piece this is. It would see this black piece. So that's invalid. So you'd have to put the king here. And if you put the king here, now you've used a bishop, king. What goes here? Could be a white rook. But then you need to put another white rook somewhere. And you can't put a white rook here or here because it sees this and this. Plus we need this to be the pawn. I mean, like, you just don't have enough room for all the pieces. So this can't be a bishop. So both of these pieces right here are black. Okay. So going off of the fact that both of these are black, I think what that suggests now is that black does in fact use a a pair of knights and a pair of bishops. So black has 4 minor pieces, 2 bishops and 2 knights. Okay. One of them is going to be here. One of the knights is going to be here. Oh, okay. Well, that means that this has to be 5 and 6 then. Because it can't be 7, because 7 would then be the bishop, and that sees... Neither of these can be a 7. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go off of that idea. So I'm gonna say that all of these are now pawns. These 5s are black pawns. 6s have to be knights. So we haven't yet figured out... Well, 7... Yeah, no, 7 has to be a bishop. And if 7 has to be a bishop, this can't be a 7. This could be a 7. And make this a 5. That is possible. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm missing something. What am I missing? This can't be a 7 because it's obviously Sudoku. I forgot Sudoku, guys. I was just thinking chess. 2 bishops can be next to each other. That would mean this would have to be a 5. Because it can't be a 6 or 7. So that means that this is a 6. So this is a black pawn. This is a black knight. So this is now the 5. And this is now the 6. So now we need to find another spot for a bishop on the dark square. And it can't be here because it's attacked by the pawn. So this then has to be a 7. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now we know that white then has a set of either rooks or bishops. Well, okay, that makes this a 3 actually. So this is not the king. So this is 4, 5. I mean, I could have done something wrong. We'll see in the Sudoku if I did anything wrong here with the chess pieces. I think I got the chess set up fairly well. So this 3 now... What is the 6? The 6 is a knight for the... Okay. So this could be a king, but this could also be a king. Oh, see, now I feel like I'm in a weird situation where I feel like I got something wrong. Because I think 3 and 4 go here. Okay, so these are 3 and 4. These would have to both be black. 3 would have to be the... Maybe this is Sudoku. Maybe that'll figure it out. 3 would have to be the... bishop. Oh, yeah, no. 3... Right. No. The problem is that... okay, the problem is we don't know what 3 is. We know 4 is the king. Yeah, okay, here's the problem that we're in. Okay, it's a little bit more complicated than I thought. 3 up here in this position, it works both as a bishop and as a rook. So 3, that 3 there is just kind of disguised. I don't know what that is. So if we come down here, if we make this a 3, oh, either way this doesn't work. Right. As a bishop and as a... Okay, never mind. I just solved it, and I was trying to explain to you guys why I was confused, and I just solved it. If this was a 3 and it was a bishop, it would see the 6. If this was a 3 and a rook, it would see this 6. So this has to be a 4, and it has to be the king. And that means that this right here is a... Well, again, we actually don't know what this is. The 3s could both be rooks, or the 3s can both be bishops. That's hilarious that we actually don't know. Now, in this chess position... Okay, hold on. Guys, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to go get a chessboard. Okay, guys, so like this is the chess position we have set up with the bishops here. But I'm kind of wondering if it is the rooks here. Like I don't see why it doesn't even matter. Like we don't even know what they are. But as you can see, it's mate and 1. It's white's move. And that's checkmate. Right? Like this is what it is. But it works the exact same way if these rooks are bishops. Which is hilarious. Wait a minute. Was there something in the rule about them having equal material? White and black have identical material, the same number of each piece type. Oh my gosh, I just spent, like, I think that was the biggest part of my problem throughout this entire thing. I could have trimmed off an hour off of my solve if I just remembered that. Guys, this is why you need to read the rules. Oh my gosh. I could have saved myself major headaches. Hey, go me, though, for figuring this out, though, without that. Also, we need to finish the actual puzzle. We haven't actually finished the Sudoku part of this. Okay, so those are bishops there. Oh my gosh, guys, I could have saved myself a headache. I could have got this so fast. Okay, but now that we have this, okay, let's go ahead and go. So this has to have 3, 4, 7, 8. So this needs to be a 6 here. So this needs to be 4 and 6. I don't know if I have those yet. 4 and 5. So this is 2, 3, 8. This is 3, 8. So this is 5 connected to... Oh, no, it could be 5, 4, 3. And then this is 8. Oh, wait, no. 5 sees this, so now this is a 5. This is a 4. So now this actually does go up to 6. Oh, wait, no, this is 5. Right. If this was 6, this could have been an 8. But now this is 5, 6, 7. Sorry, that was very silly of me. I had those numbers still typed in there from earlier. So now this is still a 3, 8, and this is a 3, 8. Nope, this is now an 8 down here. So now this is a 3. Guys, I could have been done with this. I could have been done with this an hour ago. 2, 8. Do we have those figured out yet? I don't know. So this is 3, 4, 8. What have I gotten out of that yet? Maybe nothing. Okay. Okay, so now do we have this? This can't be 8, 7, 6 anymore. So this has to be 2, 3, 4. So if this is 2, 3, 4, well, we know this is 4 here. Or, excuse me, the middle digit's 3, isn't it? So this is 2, 4. Oops. 2, 4, 2, 4. So that means that this is a pair of digits here. This is 7, 8. So this one right here can't be 8 anymore. This also can't be 8. So this is 2. This is 8. Can't be 8. That's 3, 4. That means that this one's 8. So that means that this is 3, 4, and it can't be a 3. So this is a 4. This is a 3. This is a 4. We could have seen that already there. What are these 3 digits here? Probably, oh, wait, 4 here. So now this is a 2. Now this is a 4. This is all here except for a 7. Okay, and then these are missing 2 digits. This is a... Is it 2 and a 3? So this is a 3. This is a 2. Okay, that makes this a 2. This 2 here makes this a 2. All right. Okay. 7, 8. Oh, 7. We already have the 7 that sees that. So now that's the 8. That's the 7. This has to be the 8 now in this box. This can no longer be an 8. What 3 digits go here? 3, 4, 6. This can't be a 4 or 6, so this is a 3. So these are 4 and 6. Do we have them anywhere? No, but that creates a pair here. So now this is 7, 8? Is it 7, 8? I think this is 7, 8, which means this is also 7, 8. We already have the 7 here, so that's 8. This is now 7. This is now 8. So 2 digits here. 5 and 6. We already have these here, so this are 6, and then this is 5. Now, do we really not have these 4, 6 resolved yet? Okay, I guess this is a 4, 6 here, and it can't be a 6, so this is the 4. So this is the 6. Now this is the 4. That means this is the 6. That means this is the 4. We have everything in this column here. I think we need a 3. Okay. And this last digit here is a 7. There we go. I did it. Guys, 128 minutes. 2 hours. Or 123 minutes. 120, whatever. 123. So 2 hours, and I could have cut this in half if I just remember. I remember reading that briefly about white and black having identical material. And I'm so mad at myself. I'm so mad at myself. So if we go back to the chessboard. Oh no, I already did. I closed out of it. So if we went back to the chessboard, the full position would have been with the 3s being bishops. I just can't believe that I didn't notice that. Dang it, guys. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I wasted so much time doing this today. This was fun, though. A chess Sudoku puzzle is brilliant. I'm going to have to cut out, I think, a lot of time for this one. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys later.